well, she has a small short life, but she's like, Justin, you already gave her pregnant? Like, she's talking to my brother, and he's at the time 16 years old. I'm just like, this is the greatest moment of my life up to this point. And my other brother, my middle brother, he had a girlfriend who we all had agreed upon was way out of his league. And when he first met Claire, he's like, how did you get her? Did you buy her or something? I'm just like, oh my god. Where are my other two papers? Oh, right here under my arm. I was gonna say, I just had them. Where did they go? Was this one, and then stats, and all that fun stuff. Apparently that's home. So, our main five. Yeah, I didn't know that was on here. Yeah, it's Andy Hopel's number 11. Lincoln. Yeah, Justin's number 1. Drew's number 15. Max is number 3, far side. There's I didn't see it. And that's our big 5. Oh, and then 31. Rizwan Hyder. Right there. Okay. Rose Brooks, Justin, and Rizwan. Oh, and then Drew Kilmer. I haven't seen him yet. Kind of think juniors participate. It seems like the juniors participate more than any other team. Yeah. Our football. We lost Maurice. We lost Juan. If I remember right, Juan's leaving at the end of the year. So we'll have 8. I don't know if that means he's left or at least maybe not to me. So we'll see how that goes. Well, we have juniors. Except for Hunter. Yeah, seeing how all of them left. Oh yeah, aren't you graduating earlier senior year? To go play with Iowa or so I remember you talking you were gonna try and talk Janice into letting you walk for senior night. Yeah, sure. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Howell North High School Varsity
varsity basketball game between your Howell North Knights and the Timberland Wolves. Key players tonight include
Sam Carey on announcer, as well as Carson Ramirez, Lupe Medina, and Maddie Schultz. So right now, a key portion for this game, there are very two even teams going into it, both sitting towards the bottom of the GAC South Conference. Both teams, the Wolves and the North Knights, have lost to Howell Central so far this season, and the North Knights beat Fort Zumwalt West in a very close one-point game, whereas the Timberland Wolves lost to them. The North Knights are entering this game with a 2-8 record, while the Timberland Wolves are entering with a 4-10 record. Key players for the game tonight. For the North Knights, a key line is going to be on Justin Williams-Matthews. He's been a very key player for the North Knights throughout this entire season, and currently he is number 6 in the state for points scored with 256 points. Also, our starting 5 boys throughout this season have been very consistent, meaning not very much rotation for the Knights. Number 11, junior Anthony Hopel, along with number 3, Max Smallwell, number 15, Drew Shearer, and then number 31, senior Rizwan, followed by number 1, Justin Williams-Matthews. This group has been together for a while now, considering they are all upperclassmen. This team is led by upperclassmen, meaning the next couple of years could be shaky for the North Knights as they're in a real rebuilding phase. As for the Timberland Wolves, key players for them is going to be Blake Busateri, Shaman Patel, and Cole Rickelberg. They are wearing number 3, number 1, and number 33. The 3 of them are the leading goal scorers for the Timberland Wolves and have been averaging around 10 points per game. If you didn't catch our last game, our girls played starting at 5:30 and had a very close matchup with the Timberland Wolves. The girls winning the game 50-49. In the last 4 seconds of the game, Hannah Wilson threw a free throw and brought the score up by 1. With 3.5 seconds left in the game, Timberland attacked the Knights, but with missing the basket, the Knights won the game with the free throw by Wilson.
the Knights are going to look to continue offensive dominance behind Justin and come up against a Timberwolves team who has lost their last 4 straight games by 4 or more points. So they're definitely going to be looking to build off of their final win coming on January 12th at Parkway West off a 45-44 win. So a very close win there, and they're going to definitely look to be building off of that up against a Timberland Wolves defense that is struggling along with their struggling offense. So this will be a very close matchup, and I'm expecting a very good game between these two teams.
Absolutely, Jordan. It should be a very close matchup. With a snow day for the Howell North Knights, they should be rested without a day of school, whereas Timberland Wolves had a day of school. No, although it does not take much, that day of school can wear out a body and make it a lot harder for a team to keep going. With about 1 minute left in the warm-up period, boys are starting to put the basketballs away and head to get ready for the national anthem so we can get this game going. As I said, it's a very predicted good game, and the winner will strive to get out of the bottom part of the GAC South Conference, with Francis Howell High right now winning with overall 12-3.
our starting lineup. First for the visiting Timberland Wolves. Head coach Mr. Howell North Knights. A junior wearing number 33, who's a Derek. Sophomore wearing number 2, Jackson Lamb. A senior wearing number 1, Shival Patel. Senior number 3, Cole Rankford. A sophomore wearing number 12, Trevor Bray. Now for your Howell North Knights, coached by Mr. Daryl Davis. On line number 2, number 0, Miles Montgomery. A 6'2" senior, wearing number 1, Timberland Wolves. On line number 2, wearing number 3, Max Smallwood. A 6'3" senior, wearing number 1, Anthony Howell. And a 6'2" senior, wearing number 31, Rizwan Hyder. Your officials for tonight's game, Mr. President Coleman, Mr. Michael Nader, and Mr. Williams Wood.
And welcome back to our live streaming announcements with FHNtoday media program. The game is about to begin with the starting lineups being called. The only change in the starting lineup is for the Howell North Knights, Miles Montgomery Jr., number 0, is starting instead of Drew Shear. We'll see how this turns out. And the tip-off happens.
Timberland's going to bring it up past half court. Out to defend is Justin Matthews-Williams.
Max
That ball being
Smallwood.
stolen by Max Smallwood, going down for the breakaway, for the layup, and he makes it for the Howell North Knights' first points of the game.
Max Smallwood looks energized and ready to go, starting off very strong with that first interception and going towards the basket. That's what Howell North needs to do. With the Timberlands' weaker-looking offense statistically, if we keep up high pressure, the Knights should be able to keep control of the ball.
Timberland with possession out towards the three-point circle. That ball's up for 3, and it's missing. Timberland's number 2.
A foul by number 3, Max Smallwood. As I said, looking energetic, but hopefully he can control that into not fouling out early into this game.
Number 2, Jackson Lamb, up for the rebounds, and he misses his first. And he sinks the second, with North starting back on their own baseline. That's Miles Montgomery bringing it up past half court, out to the arc to number 11, Anthony Hopel, and back to Miles Montgomery. North trying to get the ball moving around here, try and get the Timberland Wolves defense out.
Unlike Howell North, the Timberland Wolves seem to be sitting in and not applying as much high pressure. This will allow the Knights a chance to break down the team, but also they have to use extreme patience to break them down, unlike in that situation with the easy turnover to the Wolves.
Timberland brings it back into North zone after that miss pass by Justin Matthews-Williams. Timberland recovering that rebound, and then North knocking it back out to the three-point arc. Timberland will recover possession. And that one is out on Justin Matthews-Williams, who mishandled it after going for the rebound. That'll be number 2, Jackson Lamb, passing it in from North's baseline. that's number 11, Hopel, with a nice stuff there on the shot by Timberland. That's number 3, Cole Reicheberg of the Timberwolves, making that shot as North just tried to get a lot of pressure down low, triple teaming down in the key, and leaving the three-point arc wide open.
That's something that the Knights are going to have to watch out for, because there's 3 very high scorers on this team, going from Shyam Patel, Cole Rickenberg, and Blake Busateri. If they leave them wide open, they're going to be able to capitalize on opportunities like that.
Knights putting a lot of pressure on this play on the Timberwolves, as he is trying to look for anybody out there. And that's Miles Montgomery with a huge stuff in the corner, passing it up, and it's a missed pass to number 11, Anthony Hopel, and that will give the ball back to Timberland on a quick transitional play there.
Though the early score has the Knights going down in this game, the Knights have come out with a lot of energy so far. They're definitely using a high-pressure defense system that's not allowing the Timberland Wolves to give much air or breathing room when they are on offense. This could be really great for them, as it gives them the chance to have great defense, such as Miles Montgomery just had, but also with their lack of substitutions that they tend to use, it could easily tire them out throughout the game.
North will get possession here as Miles Montgomery brings the ball in and goes out to Nopel. And that's Matthews Williams going up for a nice two-point shot for the North Knights to tie it at 4-4, coming up on the 4:29 mark in this quarter.
A low-scoring quarter so far, but for Timberland Wolves, that's not out of the ordinary. They only tend to score around 5 points in the first quarter, but then build up as the game goes on. It'll be interesting to see how it keeps building with the North's high-pressure system.
That pass far up to Miles Montgomery, who goes up for the layup and makes a nice-looking shot under pressure. Timberland's trying to get a mojo coming back as they pass it out of bounds, and that's going to be a North Knights ball again. Knights are definitely going to be looking to score in their transition periods on bad plays by the Timberland Wolves, as we've already seen them have 2 breakaways on the hoop. Montgomery passes over to Smallwood down on the three-point arc, and Smallwood from the left side and goes off the back of the rim. Quick transitional play here by the T-Wolves.
So far, although Montgomery tends to not be a starter for this team, him starting in this game has played off. As you can see, he's made some great baskets so far and some great defensive move, keeping up high pressure on the Wolves and not allowing them to have the easy opportunities. He's also been a big key in capitalizing on their mistakes going into transition pieces.
Timberland's going to pass in from the North Knights baseline. That's Max Smallwood with good pressure on the player up there. And that's going to be number 1 of the T-Wolves, Shyam Patel, with that 2-pointer to bring it back to 6-6 with 3 minutes and 18 seconds left here in this quarter. Miles assessing the play here, trying to get the North Knights to get in position as he's going to fire off a 3, and it's going to be just missed.
A good effort by the Knights, and with the Wolves giving Montgomery that much space at the top of the arc, it could be quite easy for him to get some more shots off like that tonight and hopefully get some more in.
Smallwood with a good hit there as T-Wolves have to come back and reevaluate. That's Anthony Hopel called. That's number 1, Shyam Patel, going up for the free throws. Patel sinks his first one. And that's Drew Shear coming in for Anthony Hopel.
Hopel doesn't look too excited about coming off the field, but I'm sure it's a decision made because he already has multiple fouls in this game.
Patel sinking both of his shots there, bringing it to 8-6. North is trying to get their mojo back here and bring it back to the game. Miles Montgomery coming in, passes back out, and that's going to be brought in for two by Justin Matthews-Williams to bring this game back to 8-8.
As we said before the game, Justin Matthews-Williams is going to be a key player, and so far he's done a great job in making those difficult baskets. As we said, he's currently ranked number 6 in the state for baskets shown, and that's very sufficient, explaining because Howell North has had a decent amount less games. So far, everyone else in the GAC has had 14 to 15 games, whereas the North Knights, this is their 11th of the season. Hopefully that'll only help Justin Matthews-Williams prevail over the other teams as he keeps going with the scores.
Out of bounds on the T-Wolves on the misstep there by number 12, Trevor Brave. Drew Shear also went up for that rebound. And Miles Montgomery will pass it back in from the T-Wolves baseline. It's going to go out to Max Smallwood, who's going to fire off a three, and it's going to go off the front of the rim. But that's number 31, Rizwan Hyder, who will recover that.
Some great footwork by Miles Montgomery going in with another shot made by Justin Matthews-Williams.
Timberland going back and forth, having great ball movement here, trying to get the North Knights to bite on anything, but they don't as they leave number 1, Patel, out wide open for the three. Coming down to the 1 minute mark, the North Knights are down 11-10, but are now up 12-11 with that layup by Miles Montgomery as we tick into the final minute of this first quarter.
So far, the North and the Wolves have been battling point by point, with it only being a 1-point game right now. The North has really been responding to all of Timberland's attacks. When Timberland scores, North will come back and score, and it's just been back and forth like that. Now, sophomore number 23, Kyle Foster, coming in for number 3, Max Smallwood.
The T-Wolves are going to be passing this ball in from the North Knights baseline. Max Smallwood came up big there with a nice block as he's trying to keep this team up before we go to the second quarter. T-Wolves are going to pass it out to the three-point arc as that will be missed from the corner by number 3, Cole Reichenberg. North will maintain possession with Matthews-Williams passing this ball into Miles Montgomery. The North Knights are going to look to try and get at least two here before we go to the second quarter as Miles waits back towards half court.
With 30 seconds left in this quarter, Montgomery seems to be just taking up time as he can because there's no pressure at all by the Wolves defense.
Matthews-Williams has it out near the three-point arc as he goes up for the jumper, and he makes it with two, bringing the North Knights to a 14-11 lead with just 2 seconds left for the T-Wolves to do anything.
Some great defense right after the shot by Justin Matthews-Williams leads into no chance for Timberland to come back, and it's 14-11 going into the second quarter.
North Knights look to be really doing well, passing the ball down in the T-Wolves zone, as it looks like they're spreading them out very well, taking their good shots, and definitely Matthews-Williams definitely showing up early in this game as he's been making jumpers, layups, basically anything you can ask him to do, and great ball movement starting by Miles Montgomery, just bringing it into the zone, and then continued ball movement by the rest of the team.
It's been an exciting night here at Howell North Gymnasium, with obviously a close game going on here between the boys and the girls. The boys for the Wolves and the Knights, but also earlier in the night it was an exciting game for the girls basketball team as they beat Timberland 50 to 49 with 4 seconds left in the game. Hannah Wilson got a free throw that sealed the deal for the North to take another win. Therefore, we hope we can make it 2-0 for the Knights tonight.
The Knights are going to start with the ball this quarter with Matthews Williams passing it in to Montgomery, and Montgomery's going to walk it up past half court. The Knights are definitely looking to continue their offensive dominance as Montgomery brings it in, but that is a miss. But Montgomery will go to the free throw line.
At the line for the Knights, number 0, Howell Montgomery.
Miles Montgomery barely missing his first free throw.
Montgomery coming into this game has a 61.9% free throw rate as he sinks 1 of 2 there.
Once again, high pressure coming from the North defense as they're trying to eliminate the chance. With both Justin and Miles Montgomery going at number 2, they're able to get him to travel and leading into the next play.
Number 35, Sterling Jones is now in for Drew Shear as Matthews Williams brings it up through half court. Jones over to Montgomery, who's back towards half court. And back out to Matthews Williams, who will sink the 3 for the North Knights, bringing it to 18 to 11. The T-Wolves will bring it back over half court as Miles just barely misses that steal. And that leaves number 24, Nate Langston, open for the layup.
Throughout the night, one thing Miles Montgomery has really succeeded on is his footwork. He's been able to take on many defenders at a time with getting out of the situation, either coming out if it's too much to handle, or if he is able to dribble through, getting in there and getting a layup.
That's Matthew Williams passing to Miles Montgomery up at the three-point arc. Over to Hyder. Back to Montgomery, back up top. Over to Jones, back in the corner. Trying to look for anybody down low as it goes back to Matthew Williams, who's going to put up the jumper, and it's just barely going to miss as Jones gets a hand on that. And that's going to be T-Wolves' ball.
Number 3, Cole Reckler. Over the Knights, number 3, Max Smallwood.
T-Wolves are going to pass it down low as the T-Wolves are going to call the shooting foul on Max Smallwood.
Max Smallwood clearly frustrated by the call, but it's not extreme amounts for North to give up as there's still plenty of time left in this game and they are leading by 3.
That looks to be Nolan Hudson coming in for Max Smallwood there.
Once again, likely because of fouls, Smallwood has had a couple throughout this game and they don't want him to do anything insane yet.
30-second timeout called by North here. With 5:59 left in this quarter, the Knights are leading 18 to 16, and they definitely look to try and put up a big lead before they go to half. Knights have definitely been doing a pretty good job of substituting out this game, as they've kind of had the tendency of being stuck with the same 5 players on the court all season, but it looks like they're trying to get a good revolving door here.
Absolutely. I feel like this will help Knights, especially with their high press system that they have been going on. So far, 0 Miles Montgomery, 1 Justin Matthews Williams have been the only ones to stay in throughout the entire game so far, with now Sterling joining us, as well as Drew Shear and Nolan Hudson. This will be good for the Knights. So they're trying to work a high press system in order to not let the Wolves generate much offense.
Matthews Williams there is blocked as Miles Montgomery gets a huge hit there off of a long pass, with Drew Shear recovering, going up to Miles Montgomery again.
Miles going in for the shot, but it doesn't work, but Sterling getting the rebound.
Hudson from the corner three-point shot to bring it to 21-16. Timberland bringing it back into north zone as they're setting up at the three-point arc. They're going to drive down low. And I believe that is a foul on Hudson. Sending number 5, Jonathan Davison, to the three-point line for the T-Wolves. As he sinks his free throw. That's Matthews Williams passing it up to Montgomery from the baseline, and Montgomery is going to walk it up through half court. North trying to get their play set up.
Once again, with the Wolves kind of sitting back, it gives the North Knights at the top of the half line, getting a good amount of space with kids off threes, which has been working well for them, as majority of their shots have been close or going in. Now going up is Miles Montgomery at the ball.
Hudson goes up for the rebound, but isn't able to overcome the defender, as T-Wolves miss a three-point from the corner. That's Montgomery bringing it up past half court again.
One thing the Knights have been really great on so far this game is getting rebounds. I know it's a basic thing of the game, but so far with majority of the rebounds that they've gotten, they've been able to create transition moments, but also rebounding after their own shots. They've been able to go up again and try to get it in again.
Shear hands it off to Montgomery at the top. And back to Shear as the Knights look to be frustrated that Timberland is not biting on anything on the outside edge. And that is blocked, and Montgomery goes up for it, and he's going to be able to get possession back in after a Timberwolves player smacks it back into the field. The Knights bench not happy that there wasn't a call there. Foul called on Drew Shear there, and that'll send number 1, Shyamal Patel, back to the free throw line for the T-Wolves as he sinks his first shot.
It's going to 21-20 with the Knights leading with 3 minutes going into the halftime.
The Knights need to make sure Patel is not on the free throw line all night, as he is 72.2% shooting from that spot as he makes 1 of 2. And Knights let up that 2-point. That'll bring it T-Wolves 22 and the Knights to 21 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. Montgomery takes it back up towards the three-point arc. Out to Matthews Williams and to Hudson, who sinks the three-pointer.
That's his second three-pointer of the night, and so far, number 21, sophomore Nolan Hudson, has been a great impact. Without the high pressure of the Wolves, he's been able to get a lot of gaps open to hit those threes, and he's been getting them in majority of the time.
A little miss pass there by the T-Wolves, but they will recover as Sterling Jones with excellent coverage out there on the corner. The T-Wolves will maintain possession, and that's Miles Montgomery passing up to Matthews Williams, who's going to go up for the layup, and it's going to go right on the back.
And though they didn't get the point, that whole play started with Sterling Jones and his phenomenal defense in the corner, not letting the Timberland Wolves get around him, but then again, not letting number 1, Shyam Patel, get the shot, because he's, like he said, making majority of them tonight. So by this excellent defense, that led to the transition moment with the Knights.
T-Wolves up towards the three-point arc. That's Patel. Matthews Williams coming out to defend as Patel could not get Matthews Williams. And there is a great block by Sterling Jones that will be called as a foul, sending number 3, Reichenberg, to the free throw line. Reichenberg's another person they should definitely be afraid of at the three-point line, as of on 41 attempts. He has a 90.2 percentage as he sinks that one.
Obviously, with that high of a free throw rating, he's going to be one they want to avoid putting extreme pressure on because he's clearly capable of making a large amount of free throws at a time, as he just now tied the game 24-24 with 2 minutes going into halftime. The Knights are going to try to build up as much of a lead as possible going into half, but with this close score and high quality defense, it's going to be hard for them to do.
Jones at the top of the three-point arc, back to Matthews-Williams, who's going to pass it back out to Jones in the corner as Sterling Jones just comes up short on that shot, but is going to recover his own rebound.
Wolves foul number 1, Chanel Patel, his first. Team foul number 2.
Patel on the foul as Montgomery's going to pass it back to Hudson from the baseline, who's going to pass it over to Jones, and then back to Matthews-Williams. Down low, Matthews-Williams going to go up for it, but miss it. Reichenberg's going to miss that shot as North's going to try and go in this transition as the clock ticks down, no minute and a half left in the game, or half.
Miles Montgomery now heading to the free throw line as he drew that foul going right into the Timberland Wolves defender.
His first team foul number 3. At the line for the Knights, number 0, Miles Montgomery.
Montgomery making his free throw, putting the Knights up by 1. Making his second one, putting the Knights up by 2, Miles Montgomery.
Patel looking to bring it back over half court as Matthews-Williams is there to defend as he doesn't bite. Patel from the top of the three-point arc is going to miss that shot, but then it'll be put in by number 33, Blake Busateri.
Now 26-26 with 1 minute left until halftime.
Knights are looking to try and get even any kind of lead here with 1 minute left before half. That foul is called on number 5, Jonathan Davison of the T-Wolves, as North is going to start from their baseline with Montgomery passing out to Matthews-Williams and then a missed shot by Hudson. Patel coming from the three-point as number 33, Busateri, misses that. There are two players that the North Knights definitely need to watch, and they've kind of exploded in this last 2 minutes or so. Busateri with 112 points on the year, who has definitely combined with Patel to have some very interesting plays.
No, absolutely. The two seniors for the Wolves definitely play well off of each other going in. You can tell they've been playing with each other for a while now. Going into their senior year, I'm sure they've built up a lot of chemistry in ordering to play and read each other well on a field.
Drew Shear called for a foul there, bringing Busateri to the line. Busateri, however, is only shooting 65.2% of his free throws. As he misses that first one, the Knights are definitely seeming not to, they're starting to lose a little bit of their discipline here, as we've seen a lot of free throws just in these last 5 minutes. As Busateri will sink 1 of 2. That brings the score to the T-Wolves 27, Knights 26, with 34 seconds left in the game in this half.
Obviously, with under 30 seconds left in the class, Knights are going to try to get at least one more point to try to take the lead into halftime. Although they won't be able to run away with a huge lead, it is a very close game, and at this time it's going to be too close to call anything to happen going into halftime.
Montgomery coming up on that far right side for the layup, as he's going to get called for a charging foul, and the ball is going to go back to the Timberland T-Wolves. T-Wolves looking to try and capitalize here as they're going to pass it way down low to number 2, and then it's going to be thrown off of Drew Shear as the T-Wolves are going to maintain possession on this play. Reichenberg will be the one passing it in. I definitely think they're going to try and funnel it here to Patel real quick to try and get some quick points as Patel takes the shot from the corner and misses. Montgomery coming up with the rebound and then shooting it to late. That brings us to the halftime with the Timberland Wolves up 27 over your North Knights 26. I think definitely the main storyline here in this game so far is, at least late in that second quarter, the Knights seem to kind of let go of their discipline, letting the Wolves constantly go to the free throw line, especially with their best players from there.
Absolutely. Starting off this game, the Knights came off with fire and ambition, going in for high press and high energy throughout that half. They tended to lose it, even though with their pretty constant substitutions, which was a little bit shocking. But going into that half, as I said, they had a lot of fire going into their defensive moves, and as that happened, they definitely started to get tired and sloppy, easily letting them foul going into the half, fouling more and more going into halftime. Hopefully in the second half they'll be able to regain themselves and not foul as much, giving away easy free throws.
Take it away, 9-9.
Good evening and welcome back here to the Howell North Gymnasium as the boys varsity basketball teams of the Timberland Wolves and the Howell North Knights are going to take the court again as they warm up here with 3 minutes left at halftime. The main storyline going through this first half has definitely been offense. Although Matthews Williams has been definitely contributing to much of this night's success here tonight, one person that they haven't been able to get going is Anthony Hopel, who was pulled out very early in the game due to almost fouling out as he got 2 fouls within the first 5 minutes. So the North Knights have definitely been pulling him out more and more as they're trying to keep him in the game, as he's their second highest scorer going into this game with 99 points, just behind Matthews Williams.
Matthews Williams obviously being another key player for the North Knights, as he was very successful in most plays going in the last half. I'm sure he wants to get more of those rallies in, but so far he has gotten a large portion of points today. Another key player right now for the Howell North Knights is Miles Montgomery. He came out right off the gates eager for a couple points, and he sure got them. Also Nolan Hudson coming out of nowhere off the bench would hit many 3 points for the Knights to regain the lead. So far this game has just been a lot of back and forth between both teams, as you can tell the score right now with 26-27. I expect this game to be very close as it continues, just like the girls' game earlier this night.
Another key point, as the Knights came out here firing on defense, but as it seemed, as they started getting a little more tired there near the end, they started losing their discipline. So Knights definitely need to worry about keeping that aggressiveness and playing hard, but also not biting so much that they get called on the fouls. That's one thing that Timberland has definitely been able to do well, is selling the fouls too. So the North Knights definitely need to keep their defense going and try and limit everything that the T-Wolves can do, as they've been not biting too much, especially on the outside, as the T-Wolves have only gotten 1 3-pointer this whole game.
Absolutely. And to go off of that, Jordan, another big issue with the North Knights becoming undisciplined towards the end of that house is the T-Wolves have done a phenomenal job putting in their free throws. It's the easy points that North has been giving them away, with number 1, Shamal Patel, being able to put a lot of his in, but also number 3, Cole Rickerberg, being able to put a large majority of his in, with him having an over 90% accuracy rate with free throws. The North Knights will have to be able to watch out for that as they're going into the second half, because those small points can easily change a game. Now with about 15 seconds left of halftime, both teams are going to be breaking and coming out to the court soon to start the second half of action.
With their defense, the Knights should definitely be trying to focus on inside the 3-point arc, as the whole Timberland defense has struggled all year to get 3-pointers going, as Shamal Patel of the T-Wolves has the highest percentage at just 35.7%. So North, if they can shut them down on the inside, the T-Wolves be forced to take those 3-pointers that they have not been too good at this year.
Absolutely, the North coming out with high press so far early into the last half, seem to be sitting in a little bit more, which I feel like is a good plan for them, because as you just said, they have been able to really break apart the North's defense going in and getting the easy 2 points, whereas we should be keeping them out into the 3-pointer line.
North being called for the foul there, sending number 33, Busateri, to the free throw line, as he is going to miss it off the back rim. Drew Shear coming in there for number 31, Rizwan Hyder.
Busateri putting in his second one. Now Anthony Ho will be putting it into Miles Montgomery.
Montgomery bringing it up past half court. Is going to go out to Matthews Williams on the far side, who's going to bring it back to Max Smallwood, who's going to drive it in and back to Drew Shear at the free throw line, back to Montgomery outside, who's going to bring it out to Mark Smallwood for an open 3 that's just going to go off the rim. It's Patel with the rebound there, looking for somebody down low open, as Drew Shear's going to come up with some big defense there, with Matthews Williams taking that rebound. Matthews driving as he sinks that layup from court to court.
He made that one look easy, going through at least 3 defenders right there in order to get the layup.
Patel's bringing it past half court for the Wolves, who are going to keep it outside the three-point arc for now. Patel's going to drive as he sinks that in. Matthews, Williams, and Patel definitely going back and forth here as the two leading scorers on both teams. That's going to send Patel to the free throw line.
Patel is another one of those dangers at the free throw line, so the North Knights have to watch out for easily making them in. He has a high accuracy and has made many this night. So far, he has a 72% accuracy going into these, and probably going up tonight so far with the amount that he's made. Hopefully for the North Knights that we can watch out on following him.
Patel banking that one in as Montgomery is going to bring it past half court for the North Knights again. Montgomery out to Smallwood, who's out on the three-point arc. He's going to bring it in. He's going to get his own rebound, try and tip it in, which will also bounce off the rim.
Rizwan there with some great defending against number 1, Shamal Patel.
Montgomery getting a solid hand on the ball there, as the Wolves will maintain possession. It looks to be number 5, Davison, coming in for number 2, Jackson Lamb for the Wolves. As Patel's going to pass it out to the three-point arc. And Patel there for a wide-open three that he is going to sink. North looking a little tired here coming into the second half, but they definitely need to pick it up as they're now down by 6. As Montgomery's going to miss that layup. But it looks to be Reichenberg called there on a foul that will send Montgomery to the free throw line. Montgomery banking in that first shot there. But missing that second as the T-Wolves will take possession again as Patel's looking for anybody open.
The Knights sitting in a lot more than last half, which could be due to fatigue, but also it could be hurting them as the T-Wolves have been able to drive in and break them down a lot easier so far this half. The North Knights started off strong, but seem to be slipping as the game go on.
Montgomery bringing it past half court down to Matthew Williams, who's going to bring it in for the jumper that's going to go off the front of the rim as the Wolves are going to bring it down deep into the North territory very quickly. Out to Reichenberg, and then out to Brave. Back to Patel. Who's going to miss it as Max Smallwood's going to get the ball off that rebound after Busateri missed his tip in, as Miles Montgomery is going to come in flying, putting in a reverse layup there for the North Knights.
He was able to just drive in right through that gap that he saw, and was able to make an impact play through that. The North Knights need to take a little more chances with driving because so far with their sitting back on offense has not worked well for them.
That's Busateri there breaking free from Rizwan Hyder. As Hopel is going to bring in there and miss that shot. It looks to be Hopel is going to go to the free throw line after that foul by Trevor Brave of the Wolves. Hopel misses that first shot as number 23, Kyle Foster, will come in for Rizwan Hyder.
Anthony Hopel goes up again and makes this one, making the score Timberland Wolves up by 6.
Coming down to the 4:30 mark, the T-Wolves are up 38-32 over the North Knights. as Busateri is going to come in on that.
Max
And that'll be
Smallwood is a
foul
very
called.
aggressive defender and has been committing a couple fouls and is losing his temper a little bit with the referee. So hopefully, though he is a very intense defender, he'll slow down on the fouls so it doesn't become bad for them. That was his third foul of the night.
Wolves are able to keep that in as they feed it out to Patel. And then to Reichenberg, who's going to sink that three.
The Knights are starting to get frustrated with one another, which is not going to help their cause as they're starting to go down. Hopel goes up to the three, but hits off the rim.
Hopel misses that three. And that's going to be called traveling on Reichenberg down low. Miles Montgomery's going to be the one to pass it in. Oh, sorry, Kyle Foster will be. But the North Knights take a timeout.
The tone of this half has changed a ton. This quarter has changed a ton versus the last half that had gone on. The North Knights seem to be tiring out a little bit and giving away some of the easy shots and not pressuring as much, which allows Timberland to get in the easy shots, and they're almost up by 10 now with the score being 32-41. Timberland starting to pull away this game, but hopefully the Knights can rebound back and get together as a team instead of arguing each other and going towards the basket.
That's Montgomery bringing the ball up past half court as it's going to go out to Matthews-Williams on a misplay by Montgomery back down into Hopel. And Hopel's ball is just going to roll right out on the edge of the rim as he's been struggling going 0 for 3 in his past 3 shots. As Smallwood is going to give Patel just a little bit of room, and Patel's going to sink that 2-point jumper. North definitely needs to start playing some offense here as they're now down by 11 with 3.5 left in this quarter.
With this quarter starting as a one-game point, it's definitely a big one. Montgomery trying once again for the reverse layup, and the ball will be back for the Knights. Oh, my bad. Going towards the Timberland Wolves to bring on the offense at the Knights.
That ball is called out on the Knights as Reichenberg's going to pull it up past half court and out to Patel on the corner. Ball come back out to Reichenberg at the top of the arc. The Wolves looking a lot more lively in this second half, which is what they've been doing all year. As they tend to start off slow in the game, but then heat up as the game goes on. As there's only one player down there for the rebound, and Kyle Foster's going to come up with it for the Knights. Out to Smallwood, and then back to Montgomery.
Kyle Foster being one of the only underclassmen right now on this team as he is a sophomore, and pretty much everyone else on this court right now is a junior or senior.
Matthews-Williams to Foster, that's down in the key, as he's going to get double teamed, as he's going to put it in as the Wolves have a miscommunication there on who is covering who.
An impressive layup for Kyle Foster as he had 2 Timberland Wolves on him as he was still able to turn it off and get a pretty clear layup for him. Max Smallwood starting to get frustrated as he misses the tip and it goes out of bounds for the Wolves.
Although it may have gone out of bounds, that was a good play kill right there from Max Smallwood. The Wolves are going to put it back on their own side, passing to Busateri. Out to Davidson. And North is called on another foul. Foster called on that. And Davidson will pass it in from the North Knights baseline. Who's going to pass it out to Patel in the corner? Who's going to miss his three? Davidson originally coming up with that rebound, going to the ground and passing it out to Busateri, who's going to go right past the North defense to put in 2. Matthews-Williams drawing the foul there on Busateri. Montgomery will pass this ball in for the North Knights. He's going to pass it out to Hopel, who's been kind of off his game tonight as he just puts in his first shot of the night.
Hopefully that's a turnaround for him. He's now 1 and 4 in his last shots, but we're going to take it and keep going rolling with it.
That's a missed pass by the Wolves. But the Knights not able to make a play on it. As the Knights will take possession here. As number 24, Nate Langston is called on a foul there. And it looks to be Matthews Williams to pass this ball in. It looks like it's going to be going to Miles Montgomery. As we hit the 131 mark here at North, with North down 45-36 to the Timberland Wolves. Montgomery's going to bring it up past half court. He's going to pitch it out to Max Smallwood, who's going to put it up, and it's going to go right off the back of the rim.
Rebound by Colin Foster going
down
into Smallwood again. Oh.
Montgomery called for a travel there, giving the ball back to the Timberland Wolves. Patel bringing it up and then pitching it out to number 2, Lamb. Back to Patel. Oh, and that's a good take by Hopel there, who's going to come up on Patel. And he's going to draw a foul and make the shot there, so he's going to go to the free throw line for 2.
Knights now starting to close the gap by only being down for 7. Hopefully Hopel can increase this or decrease this lead. About under a minute left in the third quarter. Hopefully going into the quarter with a closed gap. Hopel making his first.
Timberland calls a timeout just before the ball is taken, but Timberland will take possession back. They're up here with 50.3 left in the third quarter, with your North Knights down 45-39 to the Timberland Wolves.
Though the Knights started this half sluggish, they're starting to pick up their game and close the gap of the lead. Hopefully throughout the rest of this time they'll be able to keep closing that gap as we start to enter the fourth quarter. Coach Davis talking to the referee about the most recent call.
Looks to be Timberland taking this ball back here to start here with 50.3 seconds left in the quarter. They're going to pass it out to Busateri. Max Mully trying to make a play on the ball, but just not able to get enough hand on it. Patel's going to pitch it out, and Timberland's going to miss that 3. Matthews Williams bringing it up the court, as he's going to get called for the charge. Sorry, that is Patel being called for a foul, sending Williams to the free throw line.
Williams makes that free throw in easy, and we're only down by 5 with 30 seconds left in the third quarter going into the fourth. I have a feeling this game's going to shape out interesting, just as our most recent game has.
That's Max Smallwood throwing that ball back in very acrobatically. Back to Montgomery, who tries to shoot the 3 but just misses. Montgomery being called there for a foul.
Coach Davis trying to calm down Montgomery there. A lot of tensions high in this room. The Wolves are making a substitution as they will have the ball in their offensive end.
That ball is going to go back to Busateri. Smallwood's going to chase him in as he loses the ball. That goes to Hopel, who's going to bring out to Matthews Williams.
Great defense there by Max Smallwood as he completely forces the Timberland Wolf right into Anthony Hopel and makes it very hard for the Timberland Wolf to have any sort of possession of that ball. Oh.
Matthews Williams bringing that ball in aggressively as he's going to draw a foul there too, putting in the 2, and then he's going to go up for some free throws. That foul called on Jackson Lamb.
With under a second left in the half, Justin Matthews was going to be able to bring this game back into a close setting, putting that first one in.
T-Will's going to try and pass it in as Patel puts it up and heaves for the Hail Mary, but misses. That's going to bring this game into the fourth quarter with the Timberland Wolves up 45 over your North Knights at 43. In that third quarter, it definitely seems like the North Knights came out of their rest a little cold, but as they went on, they definitely warmed up a little bit, getting many points there in those last couple of minutes to try and pull this more even.
Absolutely. I think every Knight fan right here in the stands got a little worried as the gap started opening as the Timberland Wolves started taking it to the Knights, opening the gap to be as far as 11 points when it started at 1 going in from the half. Now the Knights have been able to come back from that after a couple of substitutions and a couple lucky breaks, and they've closed the gap to 2 points. This fourth quarter is going to be interesting as the Knights seem to progress and go on throughout the game. Hopefully the Knights just cannot afford another loss in concentration like that. That tends to happen around once a game in any sport. So as long as the Knights can keep up their concentration going into this fourth quarter, it should remain a very even game.
The Knights definitely getting a lot more momentum back on their side there near the end of that quarter, and they're going to try and catch that lightning in a bottle here as they're going to try and get a much bigger offensive attack.
The Knights student section starting to cheer as this fourth quarter is going on. It's a very close game as Miles Montgomery goes, and Drew Shear is able to get the tip, and it's a 45-45 game.
Drew Shear with a perfect tip in there off the Max Smallwood misplay on that layup.
North seems to be a lot more re-energized going into those fourth quarters. They're putting up with their high-pressure defense, which I think was the best call for them the first half. Though it got them a little worn out, it was the best call, and it allowed the least amount of points, whereas when they tried to sit in, it allowed them to be broken down more easily. Now, after a three made by Timberland Wolves, Montgomery takes it up the field.
Montgomery up near the top of the arc. Passes it over to Hopel, who's going to drop that but pick up possession again. Who's going to go back over to Montgomery. He's going to dribble, try and get the team to get some movement going as Matthews Williams is going to misplay that, but regain possession. Montgomery goes to Shear, Shear to Smallwood. Smallwood's going to bring it down, Loba is going to miss it, but then remain in possession, bring it back out towards the three-point arc, back to Matthews Williams, who's going to miss that three as Drew Shear goes up for the rebound, but is beat out by Reichenberg. Patel brings it past half court for the Timberwolves. Patel to Reichenberg. Reichenberg to Busateri, who's going to try and make that shot one-handed, but is going to miss with some great defense by Shear as Montgomery brings it up to Smallwood. Smallwood's going to just barely miss.
The foul is going to go against the Timberland Wolves, Shamal Patel, and the North Knights are going to have the ball at the baseline.
Montgomery will be passing it in for the North Knights.
It's likely a goal for this team is going to be able to find either Huppel or Smallwood as they attempt, because they seem to be relatively open at the top of the key versus the more players that are marked down low. Also, a key player for them to find this play could be Justin Matthews Williams, as we all know he can put in a basket for sure, as he's the leading point scorer for the North Knights.
This is Hopel going up for the free throws, as he's going to put in that one, bringing it to 48-46. Hopel going up for a second here, as that one will also go in, bringing the Knights deficit down to just one.
This has once again been a very back and forth game. The Timberland Wolves seem to score, and then the North Knights bring it back, and it's just been a back and forth game. It's been very rare, besides the period in the third quarter, where there's been a more than 1 or 2 or 3 point lead.
Hopel being called there on a foul against Lamb. Lamb will go up for his free throws.
Lucky that Lamb is not one of the major free throw shooters for the North Knights, but he still has a likelihood of making many of them.
Lamb making his first Williams going up for a second. As he's going to miss that second, as Max Smallwood's going to come down with the ball, passing it out to Montgomery, who's going to drive it in, but just miss. Foul being called there on Jonathan Davison of the Wolves. That'll send Miles to the free throw line. North has definitely been picking up a lot more fouls against the Wolves here, as they've been going to the free throw line constantly this quarter. As Miles is going to sink that first shot.
Making the score 49 to 49. 48 to 49.
Miles going up for a second one here. As he'll just miss that one, but Drew Shear bobbles it, but cannot come up with the ball.
Timberland now dribbling down the court.
Let's Terry bringing it out to Lamb. Lamb's going to backpedal a little bit, try and measure up with Max Smallwood, who's going to give it to Reichenberg. Reichenberg to Brave. And then out to Davidson. Back to Brave, and that's going to go down low to Lamb, who's going to bank it in as Max Smallwood gets called for a foul.
Howell foul number 3, Max Smallwood, his fourth. At the line of 3-point play, D. Jackson Lamb.
That Smallwood foul sends Lamb to the free throw line. And that's Nolan Hudson coming in for Max Smallwood. Matthews Williams having trouble there, fighting off two defenders as he's going to drive it in deep and pick up the foul. Number 5, Davison, being called on that, and that's going to send Matthew Williams to the free throw line.
With 5 minutes left in this game, tensions are getting heated as Coach Davis is talking to the referee once again as Justin gets ready for this free throw. North being down by 2.
Matthews Williams sinking that one, bringing North within 2 here.
And another one for Justin is bringing the deficit once again down to 1 with 5 minutes left in this game.
Lamb bringing the ball past half court. Out to Brave, who's going to give it to Busateri. Back out to Davison, who's going to fall down in the key, being called for a travel. Here in just the past couple of minutes, the Wolves have looked a little lost on offense, and that may be due to the fact that Patel is now sitting on the bench.
Absolutely.
Patel being a huge key to their offense, just above Busateri as their leading scorer.
And not only is that, Patel seems to be the playmaker for the Timberland Wolves here. He tends to be the one that dribbles the ball down the court, and he really makes the team have some movement and makes them has a good vision of the court and is able to see gaps in the Howell North defense that they're able to expose. Without him so far, it's been really, really hard for the Timberland Wolves to generate any sort of offense.
Now it seems to be the North Knights who are gaining traction from the free throw line as they've been taking a lot of penalties from the Wolves in just the last few minutes as they've been making many of their free throws, bringing this just a 1-point game. It's going to be the Knights taking possession from their own baseline after the traveling call called on Davison. This game shapes up to be a very tight one as North is only down by 51 to 50 to the Wolves with 5 minutes left in this game as it's Matthew Williams taking the pass from Montgomery, bringing it into the zone.
Matthew Williams putting it to Huddle. And now back to Miles Montgomery, who's easy to find. Justin on the court and gets one in, bringing the Knights leading by 1.
North taking back their first lead since halftime. Let's hope that they can build off of this momentum here late in this fourth and run away with this game.
Absolutely. That was all generated by a great pass by Miles Montgomery right to the hands of Justin Matthews-Williams.
Lamb up top with the ball for the Wolves, looking to try and get anybody open as Busateri just can't get far enough away from Matthews-Williams there. Brave coming out to Davison, who's going to misplay that, but Drew Shear is not able to get a hand on it as Reichenberg is going to try and take possession here. Gives it out to Lamb. Lamb to Busateri, who's going to take it down low, but then get absolutely stuffed by Drew Shear from behind.
Unfortunately, that's a foul called on number 15, Drew Shear, and it's going to send Blake Busateri onto the free throw line. Unfortunately, he's one of the ones that have been very great making his free throws tonight. But there's a miss helping the Knights as he gets one more shot.
Busateri going up for his second free throw here. But he makes that one. That brings us to a 52-52 tie between the two teams with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left in this game. Montgomery has it up towards the three-point arc, but that's going to be a missed pass to Matthews-Williams. That's Busateri bringing it up. Who's going to chuck it backwards, back to Davison, who's going to bring it back out to Busateri in the corner, who's going to miss his three, and that's Matthews-Williams is going to take possession again. Who's going to drive it deep to Hopel, and then Hopel's going to put it in and off the backboard.
That was a great drive by Matthews-Williams, who was able to get the rebound and find Hopel wide open at the block, and he's able to put in the layup for a 54-52 lead with Timberland taking a timeout.
Timeout called there by Timberland as they look to be a little miscommunication, as there's a couple of passes that they should have probably had, but they just weren't seeing each other. Great recovery there by the Knights, so as Timberland perfectly read that pass to Matthews-Williams, as they perfectly attacked on it, were able to get a hand on it, and then were able to recover, but they weren't able to make the transitional play to get two, and that set up the Matthews-Williams great pass down to Hopel, who put it in for two to give North a lead.
Absolutely. As Jordan said, this is one of the first leads that North has had since halftime, and hopefully for the next 3 minutes they can keep that lead building and going so that they can end up winning this game and increasing their record to 3-8. So far, both teams are sitting at the bottom of the GAC South, and the winner of this game could help the North Knights move out of the last rank.
As the teams take the court back, as we are here with just a 2-point Knight lead at 54-52 with just 3:20 left on the clock. It's definitely going to be a very close game, and hopefully the Knights can pull it out and build on some momentum that they've been gaining throughout this fourth quarter. It looks to be Reichenberg is going to bring it out, pass it back to Patel, who's back on the court now. He's been out since about halfway through the third. Patel, who's been a huge difference maker. Hopefully that Knights can shut him down, as he's been put on the bench for a little while. As Reichenberg's going to take it down low, out to Busateri, who's going to take it down low, pitch it out to Brave. Hopeful getting a hand on that, but Brave is going to bring it down and get it for two to bring this game back to 54.
Hopeful sort of diving in on that defensive. It was a wrong mark as he was trying to use the momentum against Hopeful in order to get the layup. Now Miles Montgomery with the ball.
It's Drew Shear on the outside. It's going to pass it down to Matthews-Williams. Patel tries to make a play on, but he can't. And Matthews-Williams does a nice turnaround jumper there to get two for the North Knights. As Patel bring it back up the court for the Wolves, who's going to pass it out to Brave. Oh, and Hopel countering off of some confusion by Brave, who's going to be called for a foul there and obviously not happy.
This is going to bring Hopel to the line and hopefully increase this lead a little bit more.
Hopel here on the line for North. He's definitely had a much bigger second half than in the first. As he's going to sink that first shot. take that second one, giving North a 58-54 lead. That's very big, and it's definitely something that Brave didn't want to do there, as now they have just 2 minutes and 15 seconds to make up for a 4-point lead and try and win this game.
This is honestly probably one of the biggest lead that North has had over the Wolves throughout this game. It's been, like I said, very back and forth throughout the game. Now Timberland closing that to 56-58 with 2 minutes left.
Matthew Williams passing it back out to Hopewell at the three-point arc. He puts it back to Montgomery on the far side. Montgomery looks to be trying to waste time as he pulls Reichenberg up. Matthews Williams going to hand it right back to Montgomery. Montgomery back to Matthews Williams and back to Montgomery. Out to Drew Shear. Back to Montgomery. Reichenberg really starting to put on some big pressure here on Montgomery as Drew Shear goes down deep in the zone. And they're going to give it to Patel, but Patel misplays that ball. It goes back to Lamb. Matthews Williams trying to make a play on it, but can't. Timeout here by Timberland with 1:23 left in this game.
That was some great defense coming from number 3, Max Smallwood, as a bunch of Timberland Wolves were charging down the court. It was 2v5, and Smallwood still was able to disrupt the play enough for Timberland to be frustrated and call a timeout. Now with a 2-point lead the Knights have, this could be 2 very close games between the Knights and the Wolves this today, starting with the girls game winning 50-49, and now a 2-point game with 1 minute left in this game.
Going into this last 90 seconds, the main thing here for the North Knights is pushing on defense and offense. They have just a 2-point lead right now at 58-56. But if they can extend that, that'd be great, trying to get it to a 2-possession game.
If hearing Coach Wright correctly during that huddle, he's clearly advising the team not to foul as much as possible. Obviously, don't want to give away free points, but so far the Wolves have been extremely accurate on free throws, and that could easily hurt them in this game.
Lamb passing into Patel on what looked like a miscommunication, but not being able to capitalize on that 3. But Lamb's going to be able to put it back in for a 2 to tie this game at 58. Montgomery bringing it back up through half court as the clock gets ready to hit 1 minute.
1 minute left in this game. The Knights clearly didn't want to leave number 1, Sean Patel, wide open in that. Timberland coach advising number 3, Cole Repsinger to
Montgomery
strip.
pulling Reichenberg up for the defense.
Miles Montgomery with some great footwork, able to clearly not let Reichenberg touch the ball as Hupple goes.
Hopel gets called there.
Hopel goes up and makes the attempted basket, but it's taken away for a charge foul against the Timberland Wolves, starting from Hopel. Now with 42 seconds left, it's 58-58.
North definitely looking to try and get some points here, but they definitely have to make a stop. Make sure that Timberland can't waste too much time here. Patel and Matthews Williams up top. As he chucks it back right into Montgomery's hands with 23 seconds left.
Montgomery advises his team to get up, that they're not going to do the immediate transition. Coach Davis calling a timeout with a clear possession of Miles Montgomery, and Montgomery getting very lucky with that great interception off of Patel's pass, hopefully going in and giving the Knights possession, hopefully getting this next point in the next 15 seconds.
This is a big thing for North to have possession here with just 17.9 seconds here, as they've been showing that they are very good at killing time off this clock and getting it, and especially Montgomery being able to get Reichenberg to bite him and then blowing past him with some blazing speed. North will definitely try and need to capitalize here to avoid having to go to overtime.
Now with this timeout about to be over with 17 seconds on the clock, the North Knights are going to have to be able to try to get one more point as they have possession of the ball.
North needs to capitalize on this possession to hopefully put the pressure on the Wolves and then force a turnover or a missed shot. That would definitely seal this game up. It's going to be Smallwood passing it into Montgomery, who's going to try and waste as much time before they take their shot. clock, hitting 10 seconds here in the fourth quarter as Montgomery's going to start getting lively. As he's going to drive out to Smallwood.
Smallwood takes a shot, and off the rim.
That's going to be out.
Okay. Nice ball down at the baseline. 1.6 seconds to go. Timberland calls the timeout.
Looking at a possible overtime situation here with just 1.6 seconds up on this clock, and the game tied at 58 to 58. This next possession is very easily the biggest possession in this game right now, as it can decide if we go to the overtime or not.
With the ninth possession going on the baseline, with Miles Montgomery taking this, there's going to be some sort of set play going in order to try to get this basket.
I wouldn't be surprised if this ball goes to Matthews Williams, who's definitely been a key part of this game right here, and what a way to tip it off there for him.
Absolutely, but also Timberland Wolves are going to be predicting that to happen. Oh.
Montgomery going off the back of Brave. That's going to get tied up. And that's going to bring us to an overtime period here as the Knights and the Wolves are tied at 58. Montgomery trying to have a nice little play there, trying to put it off of Brave's back and then recover and get the shot, but he's just not able to. That's going to send us to a 4-minute overtime period here.
The FHN Knights are now going into overtime with the Timberland Wolves, as there will be a 4-minute overtime. It's not sudden death, so any basket score, the game will keep going. After 4 minutes, the game will be called, whatever the score is.
Going up against Varsity for this tip, as Varsity is going to win that. That ball is going to go out. Montgomery fighting for that ball, but it's going to be the Timberland's ball as Reichenberg's going to pass it in.
Reichenberg passing it over to Patel.
Patel's going to bring the ball past half court for the Wolves. Looking for anybody open, and it's going to be out to Lamb. Lamb to Varsity, as Varsity is going to put up 2 over 2 North defenders. Matthews Williams trying to tie it back up.
And driving right off that basket, going in to get another one. Now that's 60-60.
Matthews Williams with a great run through over there, going from line to line. Lamb up against Smallwood on the outside. And that's going to be a great play by Drew Shear. There's going to be a 3-on-1 for Max.
Great play by Drew Shear, getting that interception, putting the 3-on-1 with Drew Shear, Max Smallwood, and Williams Matthew. Now, not only did Williams Matthew have the ball and go for a shot, there also was a foul called. So now Matthews Williams is at the line, making the score at least 62-60. Now let's see how much they can gain.
That's a great play going up against 3-on-1. And Matthews Williams waiting to take that shot as another defender came flying in. As now the North Knights are up 63-60 with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in this overtime period. But Patel's looking for anybody open out to Reichenberg on the far side, being able to take out Montgomery. Montgomery coming back and being called for a foul. Now it's in Reichenberg to the free throw line.
Frankenberg making his free throw, but he was over 90% on these free throws, so that's not unlikely. Most likely after this, the Knights will have a 1-point lead with 3 minutes to defend, so hopefully they're able to gain that lead even more.
Frankenberg going up for his third free throw here. As he makes all 3 of them, that brings us back to a 63-63 game with just under 3 minutes left in this game. Montgomery bringing it up through half court. Give it to Matthew Williams. He's going to bring it down into the key. That's going to put it in for 2.
Matthew Williams, again, almost seem easy to dribble through past all these defenders that he takes on. He's able to quickly get it in, past the defenders, and get the shot up.
Patel up top against Matthews Williams, trying to get him to bite, but Matthews Williams is not going for it, as he's going to knock the ball out of Patel's hand. Patel trying to get a call there. Reichenberg trying to make it from the 3-point in the corner, but can't. Matthews Williams coming up with that ball.
Some frustration coming from Coach Davis. About 2 minutes left in this game at 65-63.
We're going to double team Matthews Williams, leaving Hope wide open on the far side. As he's going to hand it off to Matthews Williams, he's going to have a double team coming up from behind him. And he's going to just barely miss that shot.
Throughout the rest of this overtime, I foresee Timberland definitely double teaming often on Matthews Williams. He's definitely been the leading goal scorer throughout this game. And throughout the season, it's definitely going to be the impact play to open this up. So by double teaming on them, hopefully the Knights will be able to find the open person.
Timberland seems to be able to keep possession here as they're down to 65-63 with 1:31 left.
Patel throwing this ball
Goes into Lamb.
with Smallwood playing defense.
With Moose already far out with the miscommunication by the Knights as he sinks in the 3 to give Timberland a 1-point lead.
Wide open, they left Pusaterra. It's not going to help them with the rest of their defense. Luckily, a foul.
Matthews Williams gonna be called there.
1 minute to spare, and the North Knights down by 1 again.
Patel's racing with Matthews Williams. Matthew Williams gets it out to Hopel. Is Matthew Williams going to put that ball in to the basket?
Matthews Williams able to take on 2-on-1 and still get the basket in after a great interception and defense he played off of Patel. Now, North Knights up by 1 with 45 seconds left in this game.
Reichenberg coming in, gets it out to Patel on the far corner. Who's going to miss the ball? Patrice Shear's not going to get the way up. As Pusaterra is going to get that ball. Both teams trying to play very quick pace here, where while there's just 33.7 seconds left in this game. North Knights are definitely going to try and get some points here, but they also need to focus on their defense, and they've been letting up quite a few points in this last couple of minutes.
With the North Knights only down by 1, they can still come back with 30 seconds left in this game, but they're going to have to, as you said, keep up their defense but attack with offense. They only have 30 seconds left and they have the possession, so they're able to do it.
Knights are going to try and win it very Miles Montgomery missing that shot.
With now just under 17 seconds left in this game, and Timberland up by 1. North Knights are going to have the ball, and they're going to hope to create anything they can in order to get a lead before this game is over. Howell North called a timeout as we're going in with, like I said, just under 17 seconds left in this game.
Knights are definitely going to need to pull something out here. Here for these last 17 seconds. North definitely needs to be able to get this shot in. If not, they're going to have to foul very quickly, which is not a good thing since the Wolves have been on fire all night from that free throw line.
Miles Montgomery going to take in the inbound pass. Hopefully the North Knights generating a plan in order to deceive the Timberland Wolves and going towards the basket.
Montgomery seems to be the one that is going to pass it in for the North Knights. I can definitely see them feeding it here to Matthews Williams, who's been their leading scorer all year, and especially tonight. As they get into the corner to Matthews Williams, 15 seconds left in the game. As he's going to spin around Varsity very quickly. He's going to put it up. It's going to be a miss, but there would be a foul called on Varsity, sending Matthews Williams to the line.
This is going to be the lucky break for Howell North Knights, and it looks a lot like the girls' game. That's Hannah Wilson scored the winning point from the free throw line. Hopefully Matthews Williams can do the same.
And he's going to sink that one to bring it back to 68-68 with 9.4 left in this game.
9.4 left in the game, and the tie with him having one more shot, hopefully aiming to gain this lead.
And he'll miss that second one, but he's going to regain possession. See if he can get some points here. But North is going to call a timeout to try and get stuff together here with 5.9 seconds left. Tied here 68-68.
So just under 6 seconds, as Jordan said, we're tied up here with North Knights having the ball as the timeout was called by Coach Davis. Hopefully something can be gained in the next 6 seconds.
Possession here near the end of the game. That could very easily be the last possession of the game, as it's going to go out to Matthews Williams, who's wide open with 4 seconds left, and he's going to put it up, and he's going to miss the shot.
As time runs out of the clock.
Time will expire.
I'm saying not even ending yet for the Howell North Knights as we are going into another overtime, likely to be the last, but now with a score of 68-68, this is a battle between both of them. So the score is still tied after this a second 4-minute overtime. We're going to keep going until there's a winner after a 4-minute overtime.
for staying tuned here as we go into a double overtime in the men's varsity basketball game against the Timberland Wolves. It looks to be Hopeful going up against Varsity for the tip. As Hopeful is going to take that one very easily over Varsity, gives it to Matthew Williams out to Montgomery. Montgomery to Hopeful, and Hopeful's going to put it right off the backboard, and it's going to be a miss. That's Patel bringing the ball up through half court, and he's going to miss that three, and it's going to be saved by Lamb.
Oh my God.
Who took a very hard hit into the bleachers, but is back up.
Damn. Holy shit.
Matthews Williams bringing it down deep, but it's a miss.
Number 2, Lamb. Definitely going to be looked at possibly after seeing a very exasperated from his last ball. He tripped over the chairs and into the bleachers and hit hard on that ground, looking to be subbed out. Lamb seeming to be okay and staying in the game as Matthew Williams takes the free throw. Interesting move by Timberland, taking their senior Patel out of the field. He definitely seems to be a playmaker for the Timberland Wolves, so I'm very surprised that they took him out with this dire scoring moment. Matthew Williams misses his free throw.
Matthew Williams will miss both there. And Lamb's going to lose the ball to Matthew Williams. He got it in the corner. Who's going to miss the layup, but he's going to regain possession as he fights off 4 Timberland defenders to put that ball in.
That's some serious desire by just Matthew Williams. After frustration of missing both free throws, he hunted down the ball from number 2, Lamb, went up for the shot, missed again, but went back up against 4 Timberland Wolves and made it in.
North been playing a lot of surprise ball here, especially when Brave and now Lamb have not been expecting the ball. As Smallwood goes out to Matthews Williams. That's up towards half court. They're going to try and double team him, but he puts it right through Brave's legs out to Hopeful. Hopeful back to Smallwood. Smallwood to Montgomery. Montgomery trying to get Reichenberg all by himself as he's using his footwork to try and beat Reichenberg out all the way over to Smallwood. Smallwood back to Montgomery. Montgomery is getting Reichenberg to fight really hard lately. Montgomery to Smallwood. Smallwood to Matthew Williams, who's being covered by Varsity. Matthew Williams going to drive down towards the baseline, back out to Montgomery, who's on the three-point arc. It looks like they're trying to play a patience game, trying to get Timberland to bite here, as they're playing a lot of passes, a lot of movement. It's going to go back out to Smallwood, back over to Hopeful.
This patience game isn't a bad idea for FHN as they have the 2-point lead. They just have to hope that they don't ruin it by that.
Shear to Matthew Williams.
Under 2 minutes to go in this game.
As that was almost a missed pass as Reichenberg almost got it. And Hopeful's going to put it in for 2.
Hopeful's able to get the point in, which is going to give the Knights a 4-point lead, but then also getting free throws at the line.
That call is going to be on Davison down low. North could build up a very important lead here as they're already up 4. As he sinks one, giving North a 5-point lead here with just a minute and a half left. That's going to put a huge amount of stress on Timberland. As Lamb's going to miss pass, but Timberland will recover the ball. Lamb coming down low, pitches it out to Reichenberg, who's going to take a long three, who's going to miss it, and that ball is going to be called dead as it goes over the backboard. Looks to be Hopeful's going to pass it in. North is going to try and kill as much time here, but also try and get points and try and pull technicals to try and get some more free throws. Reichenberg's going to have to move up on Montgomery. Montgomery blazing past him, but bringing it back towards backcourt, trying to kill more time. Coming over near the bench, where he can hear his coach, Better Smith.
With about a minute left in the game, the North Knights are up by 5 points. This could be the end of the overtime saga.
Matthews Williams passing it way far out to Shear on the far side. Montgomery. And then Varsity being called for a foul with 50.4 seconds left in this game, and Montgomery is going to go to the free throw line.
With Montgomery in the free throw line, this could be the end of this game. As, like I said, the Knights are up by 5 with 50 seconds to go.
North makes that one to give them a 6-point lead. Shear's going to come down with that rebound, gives it to Hopel. Hopel to Montgomery. Montgomery back to Matthews Williams, and they're going to come up for the technical foul with Lamb. That's going to send Matthews Williams to the line, who is the absolute last person they want to see up in the line right now, as he has been on fire all night.
Absolutely. Now with a 6-point lead and 42 seconds on the clock, Timberland's goal is going to be to foul the Knights if they have the ball in order to put them back at the line.
North up 8 points, as it looks like North has a commanding lead here, and all they have to do is just maintain it, get the ball back as much as possible, but don't commit any fouls. This Lamb's going to put that in for 2, and Timberland's going to call a timeout.
Now with 35 seconds left on the clock, and the Knights have a 6-point lead, this could be towards the end of the plays.
North has looked on fire during the second overtime, as they have just been drilling past Matthews Williams being way open, and they've just been sinking their free throws. North would really like to win this game. That would improve them to 3 and 8, put them just behind Timberland in the standings, who will be 4 and 11 if they take this loss. Definitely shown some discipline here in these overtime periods, not giving up any unnecessary plays.
I know that was a big key for them going into overtime, with no unnecessary foul, because the Timberland Wolves have been able to shoot many free throws accurately. So far, they have not done any stupidity fouls, and they're able to go into this last 35 seconds with a strong lead. Montgomery passing in for North, trying to get anything out. North is going to be passing in again here, as Montgomery is going to try and get over this tall Trevor Brave is going to get it out to Matthews Williams, who is going to be fouled. North doing a very good job getting it to Matthews Williams, who that's the last person they want to see on this free throw line, and they're doing a very good job of getting it out to him. Absolutely. With the hard defense that Timberland has been putting on him all night, they're getting frustrated with his capability to hold the ball away from them, and that's causing them to easily draw fouls.
Matthews Williams could very easily seal this game up right here, as he's going to make that first one and pull North ahead 77-70. As they will let Timberland have this rebound, but there is no rebound, as he sinks both of them, putting North ahead 78-70, and that's going to put a huge stress on Timberland as they pass it back out to Varsity. As he'll put it in, but another timeout called by Timberland. to hit the court here again. North taking possession ahead 78-72 with just 21.2 seconds left in this double overtime period. Montgomery looking for anybody to pass out to, as he's going to give it to Hopewell. And Hopewell's going to get called for a travel there. North Knights are up 78-72 with 19.5 seconds left. As Timberland tries to get the pass in, he gets it out to Davison. Davison going down low into Montgomery, but he's going to get called for a traveling. Now give the Knights the ball back with a 6-point lead with 15.3 seconds left on the clock. As it's going to be given to Matthews Williams, and the Knights are going to get the possession back. They're actually going to go to the free throw line with Justin Matthew Williams again.
As you can see, the Timberland defense is putting a ton of pressure on Justin Matthews Williams, and he's been handling it so well by drawing foul after foul, putting him at the free throw line.
Matthews Williams going up for his first. And he's going to put that one in, giving North a 7-point lead. That second one's going to give North an 80-72 lead, and that's going to be their first 80-point game since playing Hazelwood on December 28th.
Justin Matthews Williams is open with 2 seconds left. And the North Knights win the game 80-75.
This is a double overtime throw where the North Knights pulled it out late, and that's going to improve them to 3-8. And it's going to drop the Timberland Wolves to 4-11. This is a very high-scoring game, going very back and forth throughout the regulation and that first overtime period. But North definitely pulling it out there in that second overtime.
Absolutely, and both North varsity teams, girls and boys, beat Timberland with today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the entire broadcast. I'm Sam Carey, announcing with Jordan Moleszczak. Behind me on live stream has been Maddie Chenault, Lupe Medina, and Will Scott. And Carson Ramirez. Thank you so much.
Tune in for the next game between Francis Howell Vikings and the Francis Howell North Knights. Vikings lead the division at 12-3, and the North Knights are now at the bottom at 3-8, but they now have a 2-win streak. The next time these two teams will meet will be February 2nd at Timberland. So if you guys want to make that road trip after that game, it'd be great to see you out there as the North Knights try and go 2-0 against Timberland. As we had a great game here tonight, and I would again thank you for tuning